mention that the audio on the previous video was a little bit difficult to hear. So I'm re-recording some of these intro videos just to make them easier to hear, and that way you get the pleasant view of a cat named Cookie sitting on my lap as we're doing the videos, which is also missing from the first set. So here I've got our fingering chart, and let's go ahead and go over that. I'm going to add a little bit more information this time as well. Now, the first thing to understand about playing Hitoyogiri is that, especially if you're used to playing modern shakuhachi, right? Modern shakuhachi are made so that you can play them, and without moving the flute, you just move your fingers and you get the precise tones. That's how they're built, that's how they're made. Ancient instruments aren't that way, especially flutes. The idea is that you're always going to be tuning the flute with your breath, so you really have to learn to listen as you play. And you also have to have sort of the tones in your mind as you're playing. And that's kind of the reason for going over the fingerings and their associated tones in the oshiki mode right now. Now, if you're wondering, this is Cookie, by the way. Cookie, it was named by my daughters, and Cookie is currently licking her, as a friend of mine said, her cone of courage, because she had a really bad injury on her leg that just wouldn't heal because she kept licking it. So she's doing what she can. Let's do what we can as well. Alright, so if you look all the way on the right hand side of this fingering chart, the first thing that you'll see is Fu. It's got 5 black holes. The bottom is the bottom hole, and they go up, and the back is the top hole on the back is the 5th one, right? That's the top hole on the chart. So, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 on the back. They're all closed, and that gives you Fu. It should be a gentle breath. One thing you want to avoid is blasting the Hitoyogiri with air. Just breathing out is all you need, right? Just letting a little bit of breath leak out. It should be kind of a deep breath that's coming down from your hara, right, from your lower abdomen. And if you ever want to get really detailed with what you're doing, there's a nice app called Tuner, and it's this little kind of green waveform icon that you can't see, but the app itself looks something like this and is very versatile. It lets you change a lot of settings, and that's what I like to use if I'm ever checking pitch. One thing to keep in mind is the pitches for Hitoyogiri probably won't match the piano. My A is about 430 hertz. Right, on the piano it's going to be closer to 440. Right, so we're just a little bit low of modern pitches, and that's appropriate. That's right where it should be. So Fu, everything closed. Next, second from the right, you have Ho, and you can see the bottom hole is open. Then you open the next hole, bottom 2 holes are open, you've got U. Then again, in terms of modern pitches, this is roughly speaking, of course, you've got A, B, D. Fu, Ho, U. You'll notice that you have to go kind of kari, meri, kari to get those pitches in tune, right? Fu, ho, u. And you can see, if you watch the video, you can see my head is kind of adjusting slightly. Just a small adjustment. Nothing too big, but it does take some getting used to. If you open the bottom 3 holes, now you have E. And that's roughly an E. Fu, ho, u, e. Next is ta. You're going to have to go meri for this one again. Alright, I've got the second hole from the bottom is covered and the back hole is covered. I'm playing a bit meri. And then the next one, ri or chi, right? Those are both used kind of interchangeably. The same symbol can actually mean either one in many cases, so it's nice to remember them both. The next two fingerings are opposite of each other, but they actually give you the same pitch with a different tone color. First one is ri or chi. And that should be an octave above fu. And just the top hole in the front is covered. Everything else is open. And if you reverse that and only open the top hole in the front, back hole and the bottom three holes are covered. You have to blow with a little bit more strength. And that gives you chi, otherwise sometimes known as ri, right? Alright, so let's go through fu, ho, u, e, ta, ri, chi. Next you have he, and that's with all the holes open. Now you'll notice with he, you have to go a little bit more kari from chi or ri. And for reference, he should be about an octave above ho. It's a higher B. Roughly speaking, again, it's going to be a little bit lower than the pitch on a piano. Ho hee, ho hee. It's kind of like hi ho, but different, right? Thinking about the seven dwarfs. Anyway, the next one is E. Going to the left, you see something called E, and it looks like it's the same fingering as he, because it is. It's a little bit of a different technique, right? E is a technique where from the previous tone you open up all the holes and you puff out as you go up. Instead of holding it at a stable pitch, you kind of ease into the pitch and it kind of puffs out as it loses energy. Alright, that's E. Now finally Ru doesn't have a set pitch. Ru is the last one, and you'll see that the bottom hole and then the third hole from the bottom are open. The second, fourth, and fifth are all closed. Although it doesn't have a set pitch, in probably most cases we're going to use the same pitch as E. And that's something you'll have to kind of hear, right? Because if you don't make any adjustments with your breath, obviously this would be a little bit lower than the pitch of E, roughly an E. It's not meant to be different though. You're just going to have to play it a little more kari. And that's the way it goes. All right, so the soothing sound of Cookie licking her collar has subsided, and we've gone through our entire fingering chart. So enjoy those. Feel free to rewind the video and watch it again. Get to know those a little bit, and next week I'll be sending you a practice just to kind of so you can check yourself on your knowledge of the fingerings and see if you have a sense of the tones, all right? And again, even if you don't at the end of the day, don't worry about it. We'll address that in class. We'll get used to things together, but this is just to give us a kind of a start and to sort of get everybody up to the same level and at about the same page as we go into the lessons that will be starting on February 5th. All right. Have a good one, everybody. See you again.